I know, right?
All right, shut your mouth. Up next, come to the stage, we have Regina. She says that she lives for true love, and I believe it with all the passion she brought last week. I know she's gonna bring it this week again. Y'all make noise. Take it all the way up to the roof for Regina, everybody.
All right, for those of y'all that were here last week, yeah, it was on a little rawness, but tonight it's deeper, so please get your minds out the gutter. All right, this one is called Family. On December 3rd, 2010, my mother was murdered in her garage, not by a barrage of gunfire, but by the greed and desire of money. Let me give you a little background on what went down. My grandfather has much wealth, but he is in failing health. My mom and her brother took the burdens off of him since his days were becoming more and more dim. You see, my mom took care of my grandfather's medical needs, and my uncle took care of his financial needs. Why? I don't know, because my uncle had been a gambler from the get-go. My mom said she knew that, but the plan was for him to step up and be a man. Unfortunately, in time, my mother realized my uncle had fucked up and had stolen at least 5,000 bucks. My mom called him and said, look, we need to talk about this stuff, because we need to make sure our father has enough to survive on, and why the fuck are you taking it upon yourself to ensure his wealth dries up? They both agreed to meet for lunch the next day, but unbeknownst to her, my uncle was on his way to buy the knife that would end my mother's life. The lunch was set up for a Saturday, but the night before, my uncle was at my mom's door, saying he ran out of gas and could she take him to the store. My mom said, no, I don't think so, but here, let me get the gas can and I'll give you my car, because the station's right down the street. It's not too far. My uncle followed her into the garage to get the can, but in his hand he held a knife he just bought from Meyer. So he raised it higher, and yes, her brother stabbed my mother until she took her final breath, and death was all she had left. My uncle did this on a Friday, but he left her body in the garage until Monday. He came back and wrapped my mother in shower curtains to avoid the blood that had been spurting 3 days before. He lifted her body into her truck. This motherfucker said, damn, she's a heavy little shit. Now ain't that a motherfucking bitch? Eventually, he threw my mother into Kensington Park, never expecting myself, the detectives, and the U.S. Marshal to outsmart him. 6 days later, my mother's cell was pinging off the towers like a loud-ass bell. She was found because of that cell. Now tell me, how does a battery last 6 days in the Michigan cold when my shit only lasts 6 minutes? And trust me, that shit gets old. When they finally found her that night, out went the light on her cell, because it had done its job and it had done it well. Or had a higher power been watching over her, ensuring justice would be served? I think so, because God is good all the time. That's right, I don't even need a rhyme for that one. People always ask me, was my uncle on drugs? Was he a thug? Was he this? Was he that? Hell no, that motherfucker wasn't unbelievable, because we all know the love of money is the root of all evil.
Hell yeah.
I'm an only child and only grandchild, so it's up to me to make my grandfather's final days worthwhile. Every month I come back home to Detroit, not to exploit the tragedy. Shit, Roger Weber, Channel 4, has done enough of that for me. I do it for my grandfather, who has lost his only children to God above and the wonderful prison system. There's a lot more to the story, but there's not enough time. We're here to celebrate life, so get your drinks and unwind. If you feel the need to know more about this shit, get out your computer and Google it.
Yes!
That wasn't good enough. Make noise, make noise, make noise. At this point, not only are you applauding because we have no people on the mic, but you're applauding in practice for our feature. We'll be coming up in just a few moments. I gestured that way even though he's standing over there, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying. As long as you're with me in some way.